Hello, my name's Martin and I am the guitarist from the band Under Judgement. Now, if you've not heard of us, I'm not surprised because we split in 2005, which is nearly 17 years ago. We first formed in 2001 under the name Suicidal Goldfish. We predominantly played gigs in and around the Croydon area, most notably the Cartoon, which is now not there anymore, unfortunately. And then in 2003, we had a lineup change and a name change where we became Under Judgement. Between the years 2003 and 2005, we released 3 EPs, which, in my opinion, got progressively better as we became better musicians. Since making the change to Under Judgement, and during the years 2004 to 2005, we had the honour of playing many prestigious venues in London, venues up and down the UK. We played with many famous bands, so many gigs, so many memories, something I'll never forget. I'd like to give a personal shout out to Alex Loveless, the drunk redhead over on YouTube. He is the vocalist for the band Brain Freeze, who are an act that we predominantly played with during the years 2001 to 2004. He's recently created a documentary on his YouTube channel about his band Brain Freeze, and they've recently released a new album. You can find it on all streaming platforms if you search Brain Freeze 20. But yeah, I'd like to thank him because watching his documentary stirred up a whole load of good memories from that era, and it's made me want to reform the band Under Judgement. And you'll be pleased to know that we're in the process of writing a new EP, which we will hopefully release this year. So the purpose of this video is to welcome you to the Under Judgement channel, to let you know that all of our EPs have been uploaded for you to have a listen to. And as I mentioned before, we're in the process of writing a new EP, and that will be uploaded to this channel when it's finished. And I'd also like to give you a little tour of my studio room to show you how we're doing things now in the year 2022 and the recording of this new EP. This is one of the tracks off of our new EP. It is currently being recorded in the DAW Ableton Live 11, and I will give you a quick sneak peek of this track. That's what you're getting. So these are my guitars. This is my dog. He might be doing some vocals. He's quite good at metal, actually. He's good at growling. So this was my first guitar. It is a Fender Stratocaster Squire. I got it in 1999 when I was about 14, and it is the guitar that I predominantly played when I was in the band Suicidal Goldfish. Now, true story, the strings that are on there are the same strings that have been on there since the day I got it. Now, I only recently broke one of the strings, today in fact, which is the high E string, just by handling it. So, I mean, it's due a string break, I reckon. Let's see if it's in tune, shall we? No, but not that bad for 23 years old. So this is my second guitar, and I'd say it was the first guitar I ever fell in love with. It is a Gibson Epiphone Les Paul, and I saw it at Bum Note Music Store in Carshalton, and I had to have it, so my dad bought it for me as a present. There's no strings on there at the minute because I've recently taken them off, as I want to put some new ones on there, and I need to fix this humbucker, because as you can see, it's quite loose in there. There's no screws. And a little story behind this one, I'd say about 1.5 years into having that, the screws fell out, and I used to just secure the humbucker in there with a piece of sellotape. Didn't really bother me too much because I used to use the bridge pickup more than the neck. Yeah, so the amount of gigs that's done with me with a bit of sellotape on the neck pickup, I lost count. So this was my third guitar, and I'd say what defined the tone of Under Judgement. I got it in 2004, and it was the first guitar where I started to decide what pickups I wanted in a guitar. So as you can see here, I've got some Seymour Duncan Invaders, and I've got a Seymour Duncan Jazz pickup here in the bridge and neck respectively. As you can see, the Floyd Rose looks pretty gunky, because it has just been filled with sweat over the years from the amount of gigs I played with it. But yeah, love this guitar. Nothing says metal more than a BC Rich, I reckon. So over the last few years I've acquired a few more guitars. First is an ESP Eclipse 7-string. Lovely. Some EMG 85s and 81 pickups. I'd always wanted a Jackson, so I bought this one. Also put my Seymour Duncan Invader and Jazz pickups in there. So yeah, I got this one and this one, because at the time I couldn't decide which one I wanted. This one doesn't have those pickups in though, it's just got normal Jackson pickups in. I've also bought an actual Gibson Les Paul, which is lovely. And then my most recent purchase is the Solar AC6 guitar, which again doesn't have the Invaders in, but it does have Seymour Duncan pickups in. But this is the guitar that we will be recording the new EP with. Oh, it's lovely. And lastly, this is what I'd say gives Under Judgement their main sound. It's the PV5150 Mark II. I got this in 2005. Not long before we broke up, so this thing didn't really do too many gigs with me, but it did record the Memories of Freedom EP, and it really was responsible for giving us that destructive tone. I love this amp, I wouldn't change it for the world, and genuinely think it's one of the best metal amps out there. If you're not at all familiar with Under Judgement and you've just randomly stumbled across us, we hope you enjoy our music, and we would ask you to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can stay updated for any future videos. If for some reason you've searched Suicidal Goldfish or Under Judgement into the YouTube search bar for nostalgic purposes because you remembered us from way back when, welcome back, and hopefully very soon, once the EP's done, we can arrange doing some shows for you to all come see us. Thank you.